Hello, people. This is Scary Anderson. Hope you all doing well. In today's video, I'll be talking about diabetes and your joints. So, if you like the video related to my health, my way, I would like to request you all please do subscribe the channel, hit the bell icon, and give thumbs up so that I will come up with lots and lots of videos with lots and lots of information. So, here we begin. Let's go. Diabetes and your joints. Diabetes can cause changes in your musculoskeletal system, which is a term for your muscle, bone, joints, ligaments, and tendons. These changes can cause numerous conditions that may affect your fingers, hand, wrist, shoulder, neck, spine, or feet. Symptoms of diabetes related musculoskeletal problems include muscle pain, joint pain or stiffness, lessened ability to move your joints, joint swelling, deformities, and a pinch and needless sensation in the arms or leg. Some musculoskeletal problems are unique to diabetes, others also affect people without diabetes. For instance, diabetes can cause skin changes such as thickening, tightness, or nodules under the skin, particularly in the hand. Carpal tunnel syndrome is frequently seen in people with diabetes, as is trigger finger, a catching or locking of the fingers. Although these conditions are commonly seen in people without diabetes as well, the shoulder joint may also be affected in diabetes, and of course, the feet are susceptible to problems caused by diabetes. Most of these conditions can be successfully treated with anti-inflammatory medication, steroid injection, or other therapies. It is important to mention any troubling symptoms to your doctor. Ask yourself the following questions, which address some of the more frequent symptoms people have when diabetes affects their muscle, ligament, tendons, or joint. If you answer yes to any, consult your doctor. Do you have stiffness in your hand that affect your ability to move or use them? Do your fingers get locked in certain positions? Do you have number or numbness or tingling in your hands, arm, or leg? Do you have stiffness or decreased motion in your shoulder? Do you have muscle pain or swelling? How to build muscle with diabetes? Now, how do you build muscle? Lift heavy weights, consume enough protein, get enough rest. Pretty much, generally speaking, these behaviors can be classified into two distinct categories. Stimulus, recovery. Stimulus. Throughout our life, muscle mass increases as we age up until a certain point. This is naturally dictated by our day-to-day activity, genetic, and the influence of key hormones. Everyone has the potential to build muscle. However, some people want to build more muscle than others. This is largely for aesthetic and sporting performance reason. To accelerate muscle growth, there need to be a stimulus. Weight resistance training serves as a perfect stimulus for muscle growth, while the body muscles are challenged on a daily basis through movements like squat, deadlift, press, and pull. Not many of these movements are loaded heavily or frequently enough to stimulate substantial gains in muscle mass. This is where scheduled weight training comes into play. Through frequent training exposure, the body adapts itself to deal with loaded movements by increasing its physical strength through newly acquired muscle mass. Load and training frequency are the limiting factors to muscle growth. However, for the body to make the most out of regular loaded training stimulus, another process must come into play: recovery. In order for the body to adapt to a specific training stimulus, it must have adequate recovery resources available. These includes appropriate calorific intake, the major determinant of weight loss and muscle gain, essential nutrients, fats, protein, and micronutrient, adequate sleep 7 to 8 hours per day, taking adequate rest between training sessions. Recovery needs increase according to stress demand. Therefore, a training load and frequency increase. Recovery demands also increase when you add something in training wise, you need to add something else in recovery wise. You also need to consider additional life stressor will impede recovery, and muscle growth. Diabetes is one of them. Enter diabetes. While all the above may sound familiar, it's easy to overlook the effect of diabetes on the muscle building process. I see so many people with diabetes struggle to build muscle mass and increase their physical strength. Oftentimes, they are left disheartened and end up jeopardizing their well being. I want to highlight the three biggest problems people with diabetes face when it comes to getting the most out of weight training and building a better looking body. The first one, diabetes is a catabolic disease when left uncontrolled. Lack of insulin hinders the body's ability to store and utilize nutrient fuel properly. Uncontrolled diabetes is a state of undernutrition. If nutrients can't get into cell, both performance, stimulus, and recovery capacity are jeopardized, which limits muscle growth. High blood glucose level, increased protein breakdown, and reduced protein synthesis. These are the two most important biological processes when it comes to building muscle. Low blood glucose will steal energy and mental focus, making training difficult. Fix. It's essential to obsess over your blood glucose control. Do all you can to keep blood glucose levels in healthy range. This requires dedicated monitoring of blood glucose level in response to medication and dietary intake. Instead of tracking aimlessly, feedback the data to your healthcare team and do your best to identify patterns when blood glucose level dip or rise into unhealthy ranges. Anticipate and react appropriately next time round. Second, side effects of injectable insulin. People who take injectable insulin run the risk of taking too much and too little. Too little insulin and blood glucose goes high into hypoglycemia. Too much insulin and blood glucose plummets into hypoglycemia. The greatest risk of hypoglycemia in people using injectable insulin is during aerobic exercise. This is due to the low stress nature of the exercise, which doesn't bring about an increase in glucose raising hormones typically produced during higher intensity exercise. Hippos during higher intensity exercise are less likely due to increased production of glucose from the liver. However, if there is too much circulating insulin, hippos are still a real possibility. High level of insulin suppress the action of glucose raising hormones like glucagon, which normally signal the release of stored glucose from the liver into the blood stream to rectify low blood glucose level. This abnormal response doesn't normally occur in the body of a non-diabetic because insulin production is tightly regulated. Fix. Learn to dose precisely. Injecting the correct amount of insulin is a fine art and requires constant assessment. The more consistent you are with diet, training, and lifestyle, the easier it is to pinpoint control. Be mindful of injecting insulin into a trained muscle group. This leads to faster onset and increased risk of hypoglycemia. Third part, the mental burden of diabetes. Living with diabetes can be stressful. It's not uncommon for people with diabetes to suffer from depression and anxiety. The burden of managing blood glucose level, injecting in public, and complication from poor control, both short and long term, add additional stress to an already stressful modern lifestyle. It's hard to train properly when you are stressed. As a result, the training stimulus is never as good. Chronic long-term stress is detrimental to health and diabetes management. If left uncontrolled, stress can manifest into a host of adverse health problems, including reduced immune functions, lack of energy, digestive issues. Fix. It's incredibly important to focus on what you can control and leave the rest to the universe. Increasing your self-awareness around stress, health, and diabetes is essential. Take time away from social media, meditate, journal, and surround yourself with as many positive people as possible. Doing so will give you a clear mind and allow for better decision making. Health starts from within. That's all about the diabetes in this video. I hope you all liked it. So before proceeding further, I would like to request you all, please do like, share, subscribe this video with your loved one so that they will get to know better. So this is Karian signing off. We will definitely meet in the next video with my another content. Till then, God bless you. Bye bye and take care.